if you could talk a little bit about, it could be a real example or it could be a hypothetical example, but what might a restorative program look like in practice at a school, and how does that look and feel different than what some of us might have experienced growing up under zero tolerance?
Okay. All right. So a restorative program, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. A restorative practice may look something similar to this, where students are in conflict. And what's important about a restorative practice is not that you're responding after the incident has taken place. So once again, you have to teach a student what you want them to know, because the purpose of discipline is to teach and not to punish. So restorative practices, a lot of people don't know the restorative practices start before the incident takes place. And so you have to have a platform where you're teaching kids how to handle issues, giving it, taking it, working it out prior to someone committing an offense. If the first time we have a conversation about the offense is after the offense has been committed, or we take a student code of conduct and we say, we told you this, here are the consequences, see you later. I hope you learned your lesson. Well, learned what? I still don't know how to solve this problem. All I know is that if I fight, and now I'm going to consider, is fighting, is that consequence, is that worth it? Because I still have this issue. So you have a lot of students who, in that type of a situation, will fight anyway, knowing the consequences and accept the consequences because you don't have a structure in it. So the important thing about restorative practice is to have a comprehensive program where you're teaching kids the right way of doing things, or the functional way of doing things, prior to engaging in the incident. And then when you actually do have an incident, for example, something like fighting, of course you've got to maintain safety first, right? You put kids where they need to be, and then we walk through how we came to this situation in the first place. Before you can restore something, you have to come to an understanding of what was the good reason. And they're always good. They're always good reasons. That's hard to understand. They're always good reasons to them. Right? What was the good reason why you did what you did? And how did that work for you? How is that working for you? Now that is the foundation, and you have to have that conversation or that structure first. What was the good reason that you did, and how is that working for you? Now, some of the times you can get stuck there because some folks, it was good for them. And there are and restorative practices does not mean that there aren't consequences, right? You still have to protect the learning environment. So that you go in, you identify the reason why it was done, the good reason why it was done. You connect it to the past learning experiences and the agreements that you've made. That's where the code of conduct comes in, right? Not alone, but the code of conduct. We made these agreements. We worked on this practice. Where are we at right now? And then we build a way of restoring the individual who committed the offense first. That's a hard thing to grasp. But a person can't restore something when they don't fully understand it. You don't want superficial apology. So restorative practices are not, we are going to do this way every time. Doesn't work because people grow into that experience. So they don't eliminate suspension. They don't eliminate removing a student from the environment, but you walk that kid to a certain understanding. And restorative practices need to be a continuum from what happens in, say, a tier 1 situation all the way to a potential removal. Because suspension and expulsion is not the end of the world. But when it happens without some type of way of giving a person a way back, giving a person a way to restore the environment, to first renew themselves and then renew the situation, the offense with the individual or the property, and then build a better community.